Welcome to PM in the PM. This is my weekly Monday afternoon podcast where I take a news item or a recent event and look at how it links to the ACCA Performance Management Syllabus. I'm releasing this one on a Sunday because I won't be able to do it on the Monday, and because I'm breaking my own rules, I'm also going to talk about my New Year's resolution that I've started today on the 1st of December. No, I haven't lost my mind. Why am I starting my New Year's resolution 1 month early? Well, if we look around, we find that something like 80% of people who start on the 1st of January have given up by February. And I thought, I don't want to be part of that. So if I start today, I'm less likely to be one of those people that stops. And now I've told you I'm doing it, I don't really have any choice. So what is my New Year's resolution? I am going to do one more press up per day, every day. What do I mean by that? Today I did one press up. I can do one press up. And tomorrow I'm going to do 2. And the next day I'm going to do 3. Which means by 30th of November next year, I'll be able to do 365 press-ups in a day. There is no chance of me being able to do 365 press-ups at the moment. And over the year, that will be 66,795 press-ups. I know what you're thinking. How on earth does this relate to performance management? Well, this is the Kaizen philosophy, which is part of Syllabus Area D, which is the behavioural aspects around performance management. What's Kaizen? Kaizen comes from a Japanese philosophy. It means gradual improvement, just a little bit of improvement, bit by bit. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what I'll be doing. I'll be improving my ability to do press-ups by just one press-up every day. So as I said, this is part of the syllabus area under behavioural aspects. This is part of the syllabus area under behavioural aspects. And what Kaizen is, it's part of this more modern approach. It works on this philosophy that things are never done. We can never just settle and go, okay, things are okay. We're always trying to drive improvement. And it fits much more into a service-driven world, a more modern-driven world, as opposed to the more traditional approaches which are based more on sort of the traditional manufacturing approaches. It also fits in with this modern just-in-time environment. Just-in-time is where we're producing only when things are needed. We wait for the sales order and then we produce the item. Once we receive the sales, once we've made the sale, then we produce the item. And it's a bit of a struggle to accept that sometimes, because what we have to do then is we have to accept idle time. We have to accept that the system we have in place is going to be waiting around until that order comes in. And it fits with the theory of constraints, which is also part of the syllabus, where we focus our resources on the bottleneck, on elevating the bottleneck. We'll identify the one part of our process which is the slowest, and then we increase the resource on that aspect, and then it unlocks the process more. And just in time takes that to the point where the part of the bottleneck is demand. And so then what we should be doing is looking at how we drive that demand to keep driving our requirement to make that product or deliver that service. There's a real conflict here with the standard costing approach, because in the standard costing approach, idle time, that leads to an adverse labour variance and should be avoided. And that's a real conflict because in the just-in-time modern approach, we're accepting idle time as normal. In the standard costing approach, idle time should be avoided. And what would happen if we were measuring that and reporting an adverse labour variance? We might encourage managers to use that idle capacity to make more inventory so they can report higher profits. But that's not what we want in the just-in-time environment. We don't want to be doing that. And one of the reasons the conflict exists is in this more standard approach. It assumes that things are static. It assumes that things are static. It doesn't assume that things need changing, things need improvement, like that more modern approach does. And all of this Kaizen and this just-in-time, it all comes under forms part. And it's worth me mentioning the total quality management, which is also part of this modern philosophy. It's about getting it right first time. Prevention is less costly, and prevention is much cheaper to prevent the problem than to fix it later. So there's a real focus on quality. If we've got a just-in-time environment, we don't want that item that we make and send out to come back with a fault. So the part of it is getting the team to make sure it's delivered properly and correctly to the recipient. Are there benefits to this approach? There really are. First, it involves all employees. With this total quality management approach, we're more likely to get buy-in, we're more likely to get ownership from all members of the team, which is motivating. If people feel that they are valued and they've got the autonomy to make things better, then they step up and they do that. That improves customer service. It drives innovation. New ideas come out from the whole organisation rather than just coming from the top. And this Kaizen approach is a bottom-up approach. It's where all members of the team, all employees are trying to make things better. And it focuses on improving quality, a continuous improvement in quality and a continuous reduction in costs. Now, I personally love this philosophy. You can probably tell I really like it. And it all comes down to the compounding for me. I'm very mathematical, very numbers driven, and I appreciate if I put numbers on this, it might sound a bit odd, but just bear with me. If you put 10,000 in a bank account, and let's say it grew at 1% per day compounded, after a year, you're going to have 377,834. So your 10,000 would have grown by almost 40 times, 37.78 times bigger, just by that 1% growth per day compounded. And I know we can't say exactly that we can make an organisation 1% better per day, but the concept is acceptable. I think if we can make it a little bit better on day one, and then a little bit better more, a little bit, and then a little bit better on the next day, and a bit better on the next day, and we keep doing this, that benefit compounds up. However, what if you've got 40 people in the organisation and every single one of them is doing something to make the, and every single one of them is doing something that makes it a little bit better? Everyone's pushing in the same direction, making it better. By the end of the year, the whole organisation is going to be a very different place. And that's why I love this Kaizen philosophy. I love this incremental improvement approach. So I'm going to try it out myself. So thanks very much for tuning in to PM in the PM. I hope you found this useful. Again, I've used my 1st of December New Year's resolution, where I've started my 1 press up today. I'll be doing 2 tomorrow, 3 the next day. And you're going to hold me accountable because I've now made it public that I'm doing it. 30th of November next year, I'll be able to do 365 press-ups. Thanks for listening. So until next time, this is Richard Guyver, signing off.